It's a fit it with the Enchantress. So again, we were talking about last game, it wasn't maybe in response to the Enigmas. It's just something that they like to run. Well, I think we got our answer. They like to run the Enchantress. It's their first pick.
Valery's been a big Ench spammer, even going back to some of his previous teams, like the Viking GG days. He was all over the Ench, and obviously not much has changed. They're going to keep on going with it. Hokori chewing through a lot of reserve time just for this opening 2 picks. I mean, it's a pretty hard part of the draft. You don't often want to reveal too much. You want to pick kind of heroes that flex between roles here, or supports. Usually it's like support plus flex hero, or double support is what we saw last game. I think double support can work if you get like 2 supports that really
Gaimin Gladiators
play well together.
Weaver.
What are they going to do? Weave? Assume that's a core. I've not seen much Weaver.
Let's see. On that point, there is 1-0 in this event. Has only been seen once by... Oh no, he's 0-1. Was seen by Bet Boom, and they lost that game. So, yeah. Second pick though, too. Gee.
This must be something they've practiced or scrim with. On paper against the Ench, I would consider it decent-ish, but not like counter necessarily. And Gladiators do some typical first pick Dota stuff. You first pick your support, and then you pick your X Factor hero with that 4th pick of the draft, and then ban on the counters. Morphling seems to be one of the most picked heroes in this slot from what I've seen. You pick Morph, then you ban like AA Drow +1. It's hard to beat this. Especially when you're picked Undying Weaver, like you've got no lockdown, already you've got 2 heroes that are pretty bad against Morphling.
To that point you're kind of getting at with, do you assume that's going to be a core? I mean, again, Weaver has that support potential. We've certainly seen before, so maybe that's a little bit of more of a reason as to why they're comfortable enough to pick a hero that if they feel like they need to adjust it into a position 4 as the draft develops, then that is certainly an option they can still go with.
Yeah.
Still unique.
Yeah, I think it definitely could be a flex. I mean, it could be an offlaner too. I think the one thing it won't be is a mid laner.
5 seconds remaining.
But that's, as mentioned, like often these heroes, when you have second pick and you're kind of picking these 2 heroes, it's generally the team with a better opener is the team with first pick, because they get the first pick of the overall draft, which you can pick some OP hero, and then you get this 4th pick, which can be some hero that you then ban to protect. So it's tough picking in second pick, as we saw last game with Gladiators, and the Weaver, I think if you're playing it as a flex, is a lot stronger hand played in multiple.
Definitely player comfort as well.
10 seconds remaining.
One more ban to go before we go into our next couple of picks now as Hokori. Think about what they want to do here. I mentioned they've already used a little bit of the reserve time. This is Rubik. Morphling, as we talked about.
Yep. Classic bans, protect more, AA, Drow, Slark. It's always AA, Drow, and then the +1 it varies a bit. Sometimes it's a Slark, sometimes it's like an Invoker or something. What do I want to get?
With all the Morphling that we're seeing, I understand Doom isn't necessarily considered the strongest right now, but is there potential for Doom, or is it just really not?
It's definitely playable. I passed a Doom game earlier today. KP played him for Talon. They won the game.
Okay.
I think the Doom versus Morph is kind of interesting. It's not like you're good against Morph, but Morph, as far as the lane goes, like Morph kind of free farms first. So there's like pros and cons to playing the Doom into Morph.
10 seconds remaining.
See, Rude Mother ban, just banning out some of these pesky kind of cheesier heroes, stuff that Gladiators have pretty big history of running. Ace loves to play his kind of summon heroes, his helm heroes, and so Beastmaster last game, but he'll play Visages and Broods, and there's another kind of funky one he plays, but Hokori Lion. So this puts Weaver on the core role. Mentioned, Morphling gets picked, you have to address it, and getting some lockdown is at least partially address it.
Yeah, a lockdown on burst. Honestly, Lion does feel like overall a really good hero to have against the Morphling.
5 seconds remaining.
Solid pick there from Hokori, but another 3-4 from Gladiators. pair up with that Morphling core.
I'd like to see some kind of something they're gonna have double pick here, but for supports I think they want to pick some kind of I like to see the melee fours that have stuns and initiation, the Clockwork, the Tusk. These heroes also lane pretty well with Morphling. I mean you can do Edgemorph too, but I think there's a bit more synergy there if they take that approach. DT is another hero that OG were playing quite a bit of. That's what they want to do if they have something else in mind.
Definitely Clockwork potentially pretty good against like the Weaver.
Yeah. I mean, gives you that insta catch and you can follow up with like a Pugs push. It's interesting seeing these teams, by the way, on camera at the end of the day. You can just kind of feel the fatigue.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think this is not how the player cams looked at the side. I mean, I wasn't casting Gaimin Gladiators until like midway through the day, but I feel like there was just a general bit more buzz about the team room.
It's we mentioned that previously in the before last game, right? Where it's just it's real. I mean, that's just one of those factors that they're all human, right? Like as much of gods they seem like they are at this game here in Dota 2, they are human in the end. And there's that element to it. So it's been a long day, draining day, but here we are at the final game, and your best to get as much focus as possible. But it's a Silencer Brewmaster.
Yeah. This is a repeat pick. They've played the Brew. I think their third Brewmaster pick today. The Silencer, maybe their second or maybe third as well. They actually did these two heroes as an opener against OG. It did not go particularly well. They got countered by a Slark. This time around, Slark's bad, so they've at least covered that potential counter pick. But they like the Brew. Ace is very good on this hero. It's comfort for him. It's just this kind of team fight havoc hero that really enables some of these carries. Sven. Oh, this is a good Sven game.
Yeah, maybe not as concerned about that Silencer especially. Brings more lockdown, that's always nice.
10 seconds remaining.
So Sven does not care about Silencer. It kind of just cleaves through all the Primal Split Warriors. You are, susceptible to just getting Cyclone, but that's kind of every carry. Like saying, oh, Sven's bad because you get Cyclone. Like, well, what carry is good against by that logic? But yeah, I think Sven feels really nice against Brewmaster. The lane feels good, and you've got enough burst damage that you're actually kind of come through a Morphling. Like Godstrength. I assume it's a Sven carry. I think Weaver more likely is going to be like a
5 seconds remaining.
some flex potential.
Unless they're really planning to play like this utility, like armor buff Sven, with the shard, something like that, and maybe like an off lane with the Weaver core still. I don't know. This doesn't scream like you need a lot of physical mitigation this game, so.
Doing like an off lane Sven into more kind of like seeding your lane and giving Morphling free farm pressure. There's maybe a world where they do off lane Undying, do 4 position Weaver or something, but that'll
5 seconds
it's a bit too
remaining.
far.
Fan to go on either side. Gaimin Gladiators still feeling like, both teams really still need that mid hero. It does stand out. Voker's still on the board.
Yep,
Into Silencer, but
Bat Rider, Void Spirit, Hunka, I guess, also still there, but yeah, as far as what you're playing into, I mean, into Morphling, you kind of want some burst damage, magic damage as well. You've got the Sven, you don't want to really double down on physical damage, but that's where I guess Lena Puck get banned out, other magic burst, not really.
I think Invoker's decent.
Yeah, I think Invoker's great.
10 seconds remaining.
One of the alternatives is like Zeus, but Zeus is not a Phantom, so sure seems like a ideal pick for Hokori here. I guess the worry, I mean, they have last overall picks, so maybe Gladiators pick. And by Hokori, so. Gladiators definitely, but I think likely work. If the fact they're leaving in the pool makes me think they were going to pick.
Yeah.
It's so good against.
Did some pretty good. Either way,
10 seconds
not going to be seen. And you see the team is getting up.
5 seconds remaining.
Stretching. So they have their final pick ready to go. They're going to do their cheer. Hey, that's what we're talking about, guys. Gotta wake up a little bit. Get ready, get the team atmosphere going, and get that final pick in.
That's good. You got to do that when it gets more towards the end of the day. You kind of have to, even when it's like this, like slightly fake and not genuine hype. Like you got to do whatever you can to get people A little bit wake up, you know, wash your face some of the time whenever they see your shower, you're telling your teammates stop yawning. But Pengalier comes out, and that's going to be mid laner most likely. What are the counter picks for Pingo? Some of the rage heroes I can call from like a Less Track could still be in the pool as an option. Fix that jump out to me right away.
What about like Ancient Winter Wyvern mid? We've seen that a couple of times.
The rage for a period of time.
Choose your hero.
So it's the... To me, it was like Invoke would have been better, even though they're the ones who banned it, but I guess they just felt like Boom was going to take it for himself. But Zeus is heavy magic damage against Morphling into silencers a little.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel ideal, but Pengalier does jump on top of Zeus, not to mention the Morphling kind of does too, so it's not the easiest of Zeus games. It could be quite tricky. Well, he's going to play pretty cautiously. Careful with his position.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, you know, whether it's the Invoker or the Zeus. I mean, yeah, Silencer is certainly going to be an issue, but clearly not enough of a deterrent to not pick in this case. But it gives him that added burst, certainly, to go with the Lion. And yeah, Lumi on Sven, so a much different style of game we expect to see that played out of him. Of course, on that Pudge last game, much more of an initiator and had a great laning phase there, but definitely the carry this time around as an offlane Weaver.
Yeah, probably see some like Vessel build against the Morphling and just try to be pesky. I think it's a hero that can actually pressure the Morphling's lane a little bit, so it makes at least some sense to me that they decided to play it in the off lane. And whether you paired with a Lion, like double ranged harass, like a lot of noops that you can throw out, it is a lane that particularly easy for Morphling. Like, or the Enchantress. Like Enchantress, like known for her strong laning, but these heroes that can kind of get on top of Enchantress quickly and do quite a bit of damage in a short amount of time.
Yeah. Is it potentially a lane situation where you want to avoid? Is it maybe some mind games going to happen there, or is it just you still settle with the safe lane and kind of deal with it the best you can, you think?
I think could consider a swap. It's always tricky to do that because sending Morph to the offlane is just going to be harder for the Morph. They feel like, yeah, the Morph against Sven is a good lane, but still a good lane when you're playing it in the off lane. Sure. And also, a lot of these character plays just often aren't just come to play in the off lane because how do they come?
Find out here shortly as we're loading into game number 2 in our final game of the day. Hokori versus Gaimin Gladiators. Looking forward to seeing how we finish off. Again, knowing that this is just day 1 that we have right here. Many more to come here in these group stages. So many games to be played. Ultimately trying to compete for those top 4 spots specifically in the group stages. The winner bracket, the next 4, of course, go to the lower bracket, and then the bottom 2 get eliminated out in the group stages. So pretty big deal.
Unlike, at least the past 2 or 3 TIs, it's only the bottom 1 team from each group. When there was 18 teams, it's grown, it's expanded. 20-team TI. It's great. It feels like Dota is like there's just so many more competitive teams than ever. So I think it's great to see not only the 20 teams at TI, but also the last chance qualifier. So it felt like there was like an actual, a LAN to decide those last slot, an international LAN too. Usually it's like the last qualifiers are regional, region by region, and they're played online. So it's
LCQ is great. Definitely agree with it. Let's look at the smoke play from Hokori. Gonna get spotted out by Ace. Okay.
My keyboard is not working.
Yeah, Gaimin Gladiators, they're just completely spread out. They weren't going for any kind of play themselves. Also, well, actually, hold that thought, because look at this ward way down here at the tier 1 tower.
30 seconds to battle.
Interesting.
Wanting maybe to scout these lanes out, or not sure exactly. Lane wards typically can be pretty good, but it does seem a bit, not a lane where they're necessarily going to be playing super aggressive.
Huh. That is something. Becomes a little more clear, perhaps, as the lane does eventually pick up. But Bounty runes go. like, oh, maybe. Actually, yeah, it's still Hokori will get the 3 for. As we go.
Looks pretty standard, although, yeah, I guess the one thing is the Undying is going to be playing the off lane, the line, and the safe lane. So D-Lake or the 4 position, but often 4s and 5s will swap lanes based on, making sure they get the right heroes paired together. You want the range support with the Sven and the melee support with the Weaver.
You do see immediately Celery puts the Sentry Ward down in the tree, so of course that being for the Weaver. And that's Shikuchi, and there we go, right off the bat. Shikuchi comes out, and Morphling already dropping fast, but what happens with Morphling?
Dying has a center of his own. Is he going to find the D-Ward, though? It's always like this big battle with Weaver lanes is that D-Ward battle. Probably seeing multiple sentries coming out from the edge, same for the Undying, just to keep on trying to take out sentry wards, just to give the Weaver the easiest time possible in the lane.
Dean plays it to the left, and sure enough.
Guess wrong.
Try again.
Celery would have clicked him a nose as a sentry, so Celery's going to realize, like, yep, this guy guessed wrong about the sentry. The dire sentry being in the tree, it's just, a little bit tricky to find. Very useful for their lane.
Play right there, but never mind. Gemini attack now leveled up. Had that decay. Again, being thrown out, it's a double decay. Top lane, that seems like if we're going to have a kill, that's certainly a possibility up there. I'm looking at the middle lane. Zeus is taking some good pressure from the Pango. He'll be fine, but you're not afraid to fight him.
Yeah, a lot of early last hits going Zeus's way, and we saw Analog own his lane last game with the solo kill, and up a little bit there with a big CS advantage over the Pangolier.
Get some insight into Sven and what he's thinking. Of course, that Mask of Madness choice to be the play.
Yeah, I think Sven, probably the build, I don't think have changed too much since like, I don't know, 2-3 years ago where Sven was maybe more in the meta. Madness, usually, in the past it was like Mask of Madness or Echo Sabers, occasionally both, and then, typical BKB Blink stuff.
This is going to be a kill.
Yeah,
first blood coming out. Tofu, couple of auto attacks needed. Oh, the Thunderclap, though, keeping him slowed enough so Tofu will survive. Now, Ace needs to be careful not to get turned himself. I think he's a little too tanky for that to happen, but good assistance, and we remain without a first blood so far.
And the lanes. But mid lane, Zeus, 22 last hits. Analog, it feels like, is not missing a single last hit in lane. That is so impressive.
Again, when you factor in the previous game as well, he, as we say, is feeling it. He is vibing, however you want to put it. He is a good spot right now. That's great news for Hokori. This Zeus setting up to have a very good start as a result of that. Top lane, Undying. Aggressive with the Undying, he throws down the Tombstone and going for the kill onto Celery. Celery is doing what he can to try to kill that Tombstone. That's not going to be nearly enough damage though, and now Morphling! Oh my god.
Oh my jeez. And you almost had the bug. If he dies there without a TP, that's just like catastrophic. The urn ticking as well. 1 health, the zombie, okay, he morphs back to strength. Oh. Guardian knows he's in those trees, but you're not going to get a chance to get it to catch that.
My heart was feeling for him right there, yeah.
That's like a catastrophic play, especially after losing game 1 the way they did. Like, it's not game over if he dies there, but it feels pretty demoralizing.
Mentally, yeah. Feel it. So, mentally, a little bit better now. Out to living. Lumi, bottom lane. First, the Thunderclap, and he's just dead. That
feels good for Gladiators, as this is Brewmaster very much. This lane they've done before, just so much pressure. Like, constant spam and harass. They always go for this early Bassi. Use even more spells, and it's just all this damage over time that's really hard to sustain against. You have to buy so much health regen.
Top lane, the Muddy Golem's been picked up by Enchantress, using that especially to harass the Undying, trying to bully him out of the lane. Not much you can do about that. How about Weaver? We mentioned Zeus, but Weaver 30 and 12 CS right now. Top lane, feeling pretty good about that one.
Dire's bottom tower.
Sen does have a good time. This is Weaver. Weaver's a carry hero, right? And he is going for the vessel, but there is potential to kind of transition to at least a bit of a semi-carry build if needed. Definitely not the plan A for Hokori. They'd love to see Lumiere catch up a little bit. I'm sure they'll make some stacks for him and create some room for him to just kind of fall back to the jungle if he needs to. He's not going to be able to stay in this lane forever, especially once the Pangolier starts getting some runes and rotating around the map as well.
Now, we can't forget, level 6 on Zeus. He just hit it, so keep that in mind as far as the side lanes go. Potential.
That's scary for Morphling at times. Like, you want to go full Agi and do regen things in the trees. If Hokori are communicating with the Zeus, they can maybe catch him out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Be extra careful now as another Kuchi in. Morphling going for it, showing he's not afraid to fight. In fact, Tombstone's put down. Yeah, they want to set this up with the Zeus, you can tell. But the Tombstone isn't necessarily going to do a lot. Although, as I say that, they really are going in. Yeah, the Beetle's coming out, and Morphling gonna have to kill them. While Celery's also holding his ground, and Weaver's the one that suddenly has to be careful. No time lapse, of course, now level 6, but he will Shikuchi away.
Just trying to force it a bit too much there. He's 1 health, but they don't know he's hiding in the trees. Zeus is dead as well. It looks like,
scanning.
Boom gets the kill on mid. That's a solid kill with the double damage ring.
That must have been, yeah, I was so focused on what was happening in the top lane, I didn't even realize that initially, so much for that Zeus help.
Yeah, I saw Morphling on 1 health full Agi healing. I was like, oh, does Zeus know about this? And I'm like, oh, he's just dead. Okay.
That explains it.
It's that one, it's a long day for the players, long day for us as well.
Got him. Curse up, Sven. They're diving him, he's gonna go for the TP play. Meanwhile, Brewmaster gets stunned by Lion, but the TP out, and Sven's gonna heal on up for running back. God, that Weaver though, yeah, he's going right into the Spirit Vessel, and as this is one of these few heroes where no boots is necessarily expected because of how he plays with that Shikuchi, but yeah, going right Spirit Vessel.
Did use up all the urn charges, so they need to try to find some more kills up here because without those charges, it's kind of hard to make the aggressive plays you'd like to see.
Jungle. Is Bengo going for this? He sure is. A Rolling Thunder. It's on, Zeus. Heavenly Jump.
Dire's top tower is under
me,
attack.
Mario.
Tried to chase him with the shield crash, but they're going to try and turn this one around. I think they've got the ability to catch him and get Tofu.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh, silence. He got too, I was going to say he got a little too greedy there, but he will be able to pick up the Arcade Rune nonetheless. But I got Wrath. Not worth it.
They're fine. Yeah, he's going to live. Steal the rune away from the Zeus as well. That would have been really nice for Zeus if he could get that Arcane Rune. So, we're not quite successful with their rotation, but got lanes and farm for the Sven here. They need to start, I think, getting some more stacks going and really building towards enabling this Sven and giving him some room to catch up.
A fitting bounty.
The Silencer roaming into the jungle with the Pango. They can catch. Zeus was nearby, but
Radiant's
picks it up
tower
and sniffs it
is
out.
under
He's got some
attack.
vision, I suppose, to see that coming.
He's picking out the Dire Ward. I think they know there's a ward there. Doesn't actually have any points in the Lightning Bolt yet. Maybe gets at level 8 for some dewarding, but seems to understand that Gladiators have vision of it.
Dire are scanning.
A little something.
Sven, already doing some stack. He's got level 3 Great Cleave. Not the Mask of Madness yet, but after a couple more kills, he should be able to pick it up. So that GPM start to increase. Playing. Yeah, Morphling's struggling though. This is not the friendliest game for him so far. He's trying to build even the Falcon Blade still, just under 3,000 net worth currently, but the lowest core in the game.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
A little bit concerning. Losing his tower early on does mean that maybe the wave's going to be pushing it a bit more and he's going to have a bit safer farm, but does always feel a little bit dangerous up there and doesn't quite have the same flash farming potential as a Sven. Like Sven, that Mask of Madness, you get some stacks and you're just going to power farm your way kind of back to the top of the net worth drops.
Swarm is up. The time lapse immediately, though. Weaver goes the other way. Double damage rune ends up getting denied by Celery. 10-minute mark, going for that boom. Thought about going for the Rolling Thunder. Dodges the Ear Spike, we'll take a Hex though. Slow on Lion. Back here, the Primal Split was up. Boom, now he goes over the Rolling Thunder and the cut down, the swashbuckle to take out Zeus. Coming back together as Ace, back in full form, and they're just gonna run down the Undying as well. So, yeah, initiation, I was watching the Pango focus melee, but that was Brewmaster in the back lines, creating the chaos, and then eventually Pango followed.
Yeah, he was just in there, and nobody could really answer the Primal Split Warriors at this stage. He already had a Vlad's up, so giving some nice little wars to his as well, and Hokori just getting overrun there. By the time the Pango gets in, it feels like the fight's already won, and he just gets to clean up with some swashbuckles and really nice aggressive moves coming out Gladiator's side. Sending just how strong they are when they've got that Primal Split up.
Smoking up, heading towards the top lane. They were hoping to catch Sven, getting a little greedy, pushing up here, but not going to be the case. Sven falls back, plays it smart, has that Mask of Madness we talked about, and cues up the Echo Saber. So still a little bit of time before Sven will be quote-unquote online for his team.
It's a hero that has a pretty slow build-up. Like, it always feels like you want one more item or something. Like, you need BKB, and then you're like, well, now I need a blink, and it does take some time and room. But it's the same story with the Morphling. So Sven's going to feel like he's got space to farm.
All the rest of his team is looking for farm on some heroes, and the Swarm activated on the Silencer. Global Silence is still ready, remember. In fact, there we go. It comes out. Rolling Thunder beat down onto Lion. He is dead. Enchantress go for the TP out, takes the hit from Zeus. It doesn't matter. He manages to escape. Silencer was also killed, so we end up seeing an eye for an eye there. Supports.
Some ultis used on both sides, and it's not just the one eye. His second now as Boom comes back in and gets some additional revenge. Second kill.
Yeah, he was actually coming back in really just to bottle up the bounty rune, and he ends up killing Undying in the process. The swashbuckle, so nice little extra bounty there. And yeah, with the Diffusal Blade, he's hitting hard. That swashbuckle, not underestimate it.
Usual plus Blight, so I'm surprised he didn't have the Over Corrosion, but he's going back for it now. It's just such a value item on Pango. Combo with Swashbuckle, and one Swashbuckle with Over Corrosion Diffusal can delete like half of his support's health pool.
This is a last pick Pango, at least for their team, so really working out very well so far for that of Gaimin Gladiators, as he's now top farm up there with Ace on the Brewmaster. He's almost got that Wraithback finish.
They hate the Morphlings jungle, but they're not killing this Morph. They don't have any Vessel charges, so it does seem a bit aggressive. Yeah, he's tipping the Weaver. He's like, what are you thinking, mate? You can't kill me.
Meanwhile, over at the Triangle on the Radiant side, Brewmaster just runs at Sven, ends up Primal Splitting in his face, basically, and then lifts him up. Now, the team is here to respond, but again, it's just too little too late, it feels like. Although the Stormbreaker, yep, he's going to lift him again. He's just here to be absolutely annoying. He is mission accomplished.
And they want to fight while Primal splits down, but they can't if they don't have somebody to initiate and catch. The Lion doesn't have a blink dagger or anything. He can't just go running in. He'll, feed to the Primal Split Warriors, so lack of catch there for the Hokori side make it hard to punish like a missed Primal Split of sorts.
Well, I was going to ask, speaking of the lack of catch, I mean, a blink on Sven does sound potentially pretty good, right? But does he prioritize a blink next? Is it like that important? Does he go for the BKB? Is there, or is he just going to get both, you think, at this point?
I think both. I guess it's just kind of a question of which order. You can always disassemble your Echo Saber too. But I would lean more towards the BKB than the blink, but not entirely sure what's going to be better. It just feels like, if your teammates can be the ones initiating, you can kind of just run in with your Warcry and make sure you have the BKB so you can team fight. You blink in and you don't have BKB, you may just
Death tax. What's up, that lane pushing middle, the Echo Saber being delivered. It's that to go with the Mask of Madness now, so his farm really should start ramping up. Gets the 15 attack speed talent as well, level 10. Little point here for Lumi to set accelerate, and there we go with the blink and the BKB queued up. Insight. Might run into Brewmaster. Fine, but I'll split you for another 30 seconds for the Brewmaster.
They're running at this Sven.
Yeah, the Walding Ripper actually pulling it back in. Decent damage right there. Sven kind of forced to fight this. Nice global silence means Weaver has to be careful. Meanwhile, the backline's line is cut down thanks to Pangolier. And back over here, they end up catching the Sven. The army helps to run him down. Ace is turning the other direction. Undying, putting the tombstone down, that is, and it's just killed. Yep. Not going to do too much. Boom. Meanwhile, Rolling Thunder back and forth. Catches Undying. He's likely going to die as well. Can he maybe get denied by the neutrals? He's going for it. Reveal. No, that's not going to work.
Yeah, the Sven just kind of melting to all this damage over time. He's so slow. He's getting kited, and that's where the BKB is so essential this game because the Curse plus the Cinder Brew and the Thunderclaps just completely had him moving at almost a standstill. And not just slowed, he's taking hundreds and hundreds of damage over time. Like every second, it's like 150 DPS, and eventually he just ticks down.
Scan this out, but it's one of those scans where you don't really know if much is going to happen with it. It's like, yeah, they're doing what we thought they were. But I say that, they are about to actually. Yeah, Storm's already applied. So Rojan's dying here. Can they maybe steal this? Going in? No. Boom, picks it up, and it's gone. All right, so immediately gone. Thanks to the Finger of Death.
Got Primal Split though, they'll happily take this fight, and yeah, Undying is just going to be the sacrificial lamb.
Oh, Sue's caught too, though. Morphling and Pango run him down.
Not going well at all for Hokori. This is such a great bounce back from the Gladiator side. A much more well put together draft. This Brewmaster Silencer is such a comfort zone for them, and they're just going from kill to kill. They found the line now in the jungle with another Rolling Thunder, and it's just struggle city, Hokori.
It is. Kurt getting out, no time lapse currently, so he does not want to feel committed to a fight. Yeah, Hokori not going nearly as well in game number 2. Definitely credit to Gaimin Gladiators. Ace especially. Feels like he was kind of the momentum here for this team as far as making the plays. We saw the Primal Split initially. And again, a hero that's just not afraid to just run at this Hokori lineup and doesn't feel vulnerable doing so. And he's fought a lot of space with this Morphling, who now has a Saint Yasha finished, actually. Delivered.
I think there's more with how well this game's going. Wants to continue to be active and fight. Wants to apply pressure before this Sven gets too far. And it looks like Sven might buy the blink before BKB. Give him some initiation, but he's going to be so careful. We've seen how squishy he looked in some of these fights.
Smoke play into the jungle. This Wildering Ripper. We saw what happened earlier against the Sven. Celery looking for another chance. Doesn't look like they're going to catch anyone unless they keep going, which they are.
Yeah, they may find them. They don't want to run into this Undying. They'd much rather the Sven, but it looks like, unfortunately, they're going to get the support.
Yep. Tombstone. Well, they're going to kill that in the process. Looks like it as well. Yep, Pango's like, I want that gold. Like Enchantress will take it.
No, sir.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's a kind of a game of keep with Hokori. 2 kills to 15, and see there, smoke in, and Undying pops it. Sven's just like, I'm out of here. TP's top. They do not want to take any kind of fighter engagement right now. This blink is not really being used to initiate. It just feels like it's being used to try and accelerate Sven's farm so we can just blink around the map a bit and a bit more aggressively and have an escape tool. But
Dire's structures are fortified.
Yeah, they are still playing this game pretty slowly here on the Hokori side. They've got to try and stall this one out.
Also, can't forget the Silencer. The infinite scaling has begun. Plus 12 permanent intelligence.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Long ways to go before he's really scary with that.
Yep, it'll happen.
It's a start.
Yeah, baby steps.
Radiant's bottom tower
With the
is
drums
under
and
attack.
soon to be 4 staff. That's some items to go with the stolen in.
Dire's middle tower is under
4-player smoke.
attack.
Running up top,
Dire
they again, Undying kind of exposes this, but it's just not the hero that they want. But Rolling Thunder will mean it's the hero that they're going to get.
Is under attack.
May find more.
Up top.
Hiding in the trees. Looks like they want to try and take this fight, but they get the insta-global.
Oh no, that global. Yeah, is he dead to this? Oh, okay, he's able to time lapse and get out of there. So Lion's dead, but that would have been a big kill on Weaver as well if they secured that one. They still could.
Yeah.
Dust is out. They have a slow of sorts. Defusal cooldown. They do get the slow in though. The enchant comes out. The clap and the impetus. You do not want to run away from that.
2 in. And
Dire's top
Hokori
tower
just being
is under
hunted.
attack.
Well done. Morphling down bottom. Yeah, they found the Sven. That's a big kill.
Uh-oh.
Boy.
Yeah, that's an 8,000 net worth lead now, and you got Morphling, a.k.a. I'm the Sven now. Going off there.
Oh. The Aghanim Scepter coming out, wanting to get some of that status resistance stolen from the Sven, I suppose. Or even stealing using on the Zeus and taking away some of his spell amp would be pretty big as well. Pango.
Middle lane. Wow. that's a blow up. Let's not forget Zeus exists in this game, so good job there. Put him down, but Ace doesn't care. He's like, yes, I know he exists, and I'm going to take care of that. They eliminate him. Morphling there in the flank to secure it, and a dying full double kill for the Morphling. But again, Ace is just there to create the initiation and allow for the end result. He's 6-0-8 on this Brewmaster.
Radiant's top tower
Really
is under
MVP for
attack.
me for sure.
Oh, I absolutely. The problem with Zeus, you see, like, you can dish out a ton of damage, but like you kind of have to commit your hero to do so, and then
tower is under attack.
any kind of counterplay where they get on top of you, it's just like, well, what do you do now? You just die. Or you can just try and throw some more spells out, but until he gets, even with a BKB, it's tough because like someone like a Morphling can just right-click him down. So this BKB doesn't really guarantee. I mean, it'll be helpful, but it's just not save his life by itself.
Yeah. You know the Brewmaster's in the area. Again, they also know that he doesn't have his Primal Split yet, but really catch him, most likely not. He also just buys his Blink, by the way, on Ace. Brewmaster, so now he's been doing all this without that initiation tool, and now he's going to have one in his inventory, so the greediness of the Hand of Midas certainly paying off for the Brewmaster here.
Like managed to finish the BKB on Sven, so this is it. This is the item they've been waiting for. They've
Radiant's middle tower is
got more
under
queued
attack.
up after. He's going to turn his Oblivion Staff, it looks like, into an Orchid, but BKB is the one that really allows him to start taking some team fights now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just unlike that. That's certainly what the biggest difference is from the last game to this is Hokori is much more defensive postured. I know the laning phase certainly kind of has spoke for that, and obviously a completely different game with the lineup, etc. But really haven't seen that aggressiveness. And what was the last thing I said as the first game ended? Is like, I love this aggressive play out of Hokori. Not so much here in game 2, but with these items, I think you're right. You got to make a play here soon. It feels like
Radiant
1,000 net worth, and I think it's slowing down anytime soon, especially with that Morphling doing what he's doing. So
They're going on Ace here. They got the damage for this.
they're gonna try. There's
They're chain some for you.
though. And
He's out. Any Cyclone or Stone Toss? No. I'll just get the answer.
Oh, they got it done.
As per usual. Before undying. Great global silence.
Yeah.
Stopped the chain stun and kept the brew alive.
I mean, that's literally the worst target, right? Like to jump like that, and you can just tell how desperate they are on the side of Hokori at this point when they're going for plays like that.
Now,
Got to try something though.
Radiant's top
yeah,
tower is under
exactly. You
attack.
can't totally blame them. It's a bit of a desperate times, desperate measures, but once their top T2 tower go down, doesn't look like any kind of a defense of that, and his potential Roshan in the next 3 minutes. We'll see how long it's going to be this time around. The fight up top, and oh boy, Gracias just gets blown up.
There's that blow up we're talking about. But Pango now showing up, and the blow-up no longer there. At least in theory, that's the idea. Nice time lapse, by the way, on Weaver. Gets up live. Now Pango, what is something blow-up, but they locked him down long enough. Losing Lion Lumi. He's being heavily slow. Meanwhile, Weaver, no more time lapse means he is dead this time. A Brewmaster caught up too. Much lower on life. He's going to go for the TP play. That is not going to work, though. A double kill for Lumi. And he wants more. Popping the God Strength for this one. Wants the kill on Enchantress. And, well, he'll be a part of it, we'll say, as they make it happen. So Silence here, the sole survivor on Gaimin Gladiators. And that's more like it for Hokori, as far as having hope here in Game 2.
Yeah, a bit of a bloodbath, but a hugely Hokori-favored one. Even as a 4-for-3, they made back 3.4k gold. They killed all 3 enemy cores, ending streaks there, and that is just amazing for their game. Getting them right back into it. They just instantly kind of deleted the Morphling there, who was just sitting on maybe a bit too much agi and didn't get the more strength up. We'll see it again here. Just happened so far. Yeah, just Blink Hex. He just wasn't ready for it and couldn't, from full to zero. Perhaps unaware of the Lion Blink. I think that was the Blink reveal, and they lost a gem as well. That's part of that huge gold swing, is that gem being swapped, so make life a bit harder for Gladiators, who really need to get this next Roshan.
Yeah. Speaking of that, 15 seconds on the timer. We'll be up here soon, and both teams starting to scout out the area, understandably. The Centaur goes in and confirms that he's not up yet. There is a double damage rune, though, and Pango to be the one to bottle it up. So just to get there first, you see the Basher to go with the Diffusal Blade for Boom, by the way.
Dire's middle tower
playing that Pango, that feels pretty good.
Signs of life from Hokori in a game where if this Sven gets enough farm, could look to swing things back in their favor. Top of the net worth, and Lemire out to level 19 as well, so he's got the levels as well as the farm this game.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
What about a Linken's? Linken's kind of a little more of an old school build on Morphling, but is this a game where Linken's could potentially be a play, or is it?
It definitely makes sense, but less so like later. It's usually one of those items you want to get like first on Morphling and build up. Like now he's at the point where he wants to itemize more for the Sven. So the Skadi is kind of like the kiting item. If anything, maybe we see a Linken's on someone else like Ace, but I don't think you want your Morphling to go more scaling items. And getting low, healing. Is he going for this on the line?
They absolutely are. He goes in. The Aegis is picked up, though, by Morphling. He gets hexed up, line silenced up, cannot finish the job. Morphling's good to go with that Aegis still in hand. The bad proc on Sven. He's in trouble now. Going for the TP out. The BKB's still up, but it's just going to wear off any second. The lift up, the smack down, and down goes Sven. 70 seconds. He's going to be out for no chance of a buyback, even if he wanted it. So there was hope for Hokori. It's snatched away, though, by Gaimin Gladiators as they secure the Roshan, get the Aegis, and they get a couple of big kills.
They lose some more up here. Global Silence just to kill the Weaver off. That's some serious hate. Why not 22 perma installing now?
All right.
Radiant's middle
Lancer is starting to get to a point of he's kind of hitting a little harder now.
Both supports. The Ench last fight was doing crazy damage too. With Dragonlance 4-star, like that's a Hurricane Pike into Treads BKB, like this is a farmed Ench even.
Nobody doing damage. It's not good for the Radiant.
Yeah. And these two supports, like, they kite the Sven pretty badly. That's why they don't mind their Ench getting some farm and going into this, like, carry-type build, because she's going to be a great answer to the Sven.
Radiant's middle tower.
Pango really going in. Of course he is. Boom. Hits the Undying. Undying's like, I might as well throw this down before I die. But not much going to come of it. That Tombstone, so very aggressive play from Pango. Why not kill Undying yet again? Longest resurrection though, but an Scotty being delivered to Morphling. Talked about that as that's kind of that tool that you want against the Sven, and so manages to have it now.
I think against the especially if they have global, like the Lion Blink Hex, like you can stop the chain stun with the global silence. That's the issue they had last time when Morph died, is they'd use global already, so they'll be a bit more careful. They'll cover him maybe with some Force Staffs and stuff, and Morphling will just protect himself. He's sitting already on more strength than more. Just kidding, he's on full agi. He has 2.2k health. I was like, he's got some strength. He's just tanky.
He's definitely, I mean, the Saint Yasha we can't forget as well. So yeah, he is pretty bulky here. being full edgy. Reiterate. There's a Bloodthorn, though, finished by Sven, and they immediately smoke up to go for the jump, but the blink out. Never mind.
What a reaction from Boom. That was going to be a very quick kill, and he used God Strength and everything.
Yep. And that's one of those moments of, yeah, I mean, that was a chance. He just got the Bloodthorn, they smoked up, and you immediately think they have a kill opportunity on the mid-hero, but never mind. That kind of just stalls everything they had planned right there. We will now kind of chill in the base for the time being and figure out what to do next. Invis room bottled up on Pango. That comes into play.
Radiant are scanning.
Waveform now auto-attacking from Morphling as well as he is level 20.
Sure, if they've got they maybe can kill the Morphling once, but doing it twice is just so difficult.
Radiant structures are falling.
Got a little low there. That was somewhat scary, but Lion now being bashed down thanks to the Rolling Thunder back and forth, and Brewmaster's there. Helps secure that kill.
Buyback and still a minute left on this Aegis, so they want this lane of racks here. The supports just can't do anything to defend.
You do see the Spirit Vessels doing a work, so they are going to get the Aegis burnt, and they are going to kill Pango. The God Strength is ready once he's not silenced. So, never mind about that.
Morph just flying in with the Sven Ags upgrade, the Stormhammer, giving him that Superman jump, but yeah, losing the Pangolier. The Sven Bloodthorn pickup is really making this Pango's life a little bit more difficult.
Blowing up a couple of times now.
Smoking back. They want to keep taking this fight even without Aegis, but look like anyone's leaving the base, so instead Gracias just keep these top. I mean, they're going to reset. Well, I say they're going to reset top, but they're going to get support kill bottom. Oh.
Well, this time he's dead for 60 seconds, so a little bit longer. The pushback on Lumi over Silencer. He is going to get run down, so yeah, that's one of those, I mean, killing undying. Come on, you don't necessarily want to overextend for that one.
Yeah. Silencer's life is worth a decent chunk of gold there as a support, and unusual they make that play after the Morphling TP top. Like, they see Morphling top on Hokori, so of course they're going to react when you aggressive play like that down bottom.
Last thing you want to do if you're Gaimin Gladiators is giving them the openings for Hokori. It's said it's a 17,000 net worth lead, and now Morphling, he could almost right-click a BKB. Wants to, as that's what he has queued up at least. Much bigger as well. Assault Cuirass on Brewmaster, another 2,000 gold on him. You have Pango, 2,600 gold, so he's thinking about that Ags. Farm time again. Sven's still building up, though. He's level 21. He's going to go for that Silver Edge and eventually the Swift Plank, so a lot of farm to be done to get all of that. What he has in mind.
Yeah, this game's slowing down a bit. At the same time, I think partly because of the Roshan factor. Gladiators would love to just get their hands on another one, and also they seem to be finishing off a couple of next level of items on different couple of heroes. They get the Ags now out on Boom. He's about to hit level 20 as well. So their next aggressive play could be coming soon. It does feel like they are grouping around this mid lane and considering some kind of a smoke.
Possible, but also know what that means, again, with Roshan. About a minute 20 on the red timer, though, so still a bit of time before he would be up. See more level 20s coming out. Both Pango and Zeus hit their mark. Picked up, but yeah, they're definitely smoking it right. So here's the 5-player smoke on the side of Gaimin Gladiators. Might be the same on Hokori, although if Hokori gets scanned.
They are. The vision around this area is very good, though. As soon as these smokes pop, they're going to be able to react.
Oh, well played by Theolacor. And just to avoid.
God, no damage, though.
Well, I said avoid, never mind.
Yeah, he didn't blink very. He still got caught by the clap. With that plus 200 clap AoE, even after blinking away, he still got clipped, and explode, and then yeah, the swashbuckle was like 2/3 of his health.
Lumi's going to make sure not to have the same fate as Lion. Hiding there in the trees. I mean, you also look at the map now, I'm kind of realizing 35 minutes in, yeah, the Hokori only has the one tower kill still. That was the top tier 1. There's room to be made up, but it's definitely not easy right now.
Tricky game. They're kind of forced to be the ones just playing reactionary, playing on their side of the map. But at some point, maybe around this next Roshan, they're going to feel pressured to finally be the ones taking the initiative. They need to get some good vision. I mean, they've got the one ward to the left of the Rosh pit. Jump, getting someone like a Pangolier with a Blink Bloodthorn from Sven is going to be crucial.
There's a jump on a Brewmaster. Bloodthorn up, but the global silence immediately in reaction, and Sven just turns around and beelines it. Yeah, the chase is definitely on Lion. Pretty easy chase to make as he gets Scotty, buys back immediately though, so clearly Hokori making a point that they want to fight this. In fact, Lumi jumps back in, going for the kill on a Pango. It's not enough damage, though. Yes, it is. It is enough damage when it's all said and done. The split, though, of Brewmaster. You got the DKB poured out from Zeus. Will be successful. Then dying in the process, and so does Weaver. Actually gets caught behind.
Just enough damage for that Pangolier with the soul burn from the Bloodthorn coming in at the end. They didn't get him. It would have been really bad for them. A nice force stuff almost kept him alive, but in the end, a great fight for Gladiators, and using a buyback on Lion too, so the outcome they were hoping for. Roshan going to be respawning shortly as well.
Yeah, this Morphling is loving turning into the Sven. the Ags effect that it gets, but also that Superman done is great gap closer, of course. Just has free reign this game right now.
Satanic soon. We'll see that fight here again. The Penguin was just controlling everyone. He was like bashing the Sven invis accidentally, and this swashbuckle on a boat, that one intentional, just perfectly placed. Just really good usage of the spells. Unfortunately, Sven was well timed with his initiation, so able to bring him down.
God, looking at the replay right there, yeah, just seeing Morphling turn his attention to Sven and just evaporate him. Good.
3-11. It's a massive kill lead and a 31k gold lead to go with it. You got to imagine with Aegis Cheese, they're going to be eyeballing this high ground now.
Radiant are scanning.
Exactly where they're going, Pango. Up the Rolling Thunder over and over.
Oh, and their edge just got accepted, by the way. So.
Go. The jump, the initiation, the global silence and response, but Morphling is dead. Aegis, we're just going to bring him right back up. Primal Split used by Ace as well, but you look at Boom in the back lines. And with the resurrection, there's the Superman. Weaver got locked down initially, but good. He's able to time-lapse, stay alive for now. So Zepetus doing a lot of damage. Just the Sproinks coming out.
That's insane damage, like at this stage of the game. Walk in, get a Rax. Did cost him an Aegis, but once that Sven kind of goes in, kills one with his BKB, the BKB being down just makes it so hard for Lumiere to continue to fight. But they are aggressively smoking out, knowing that they pop the Aegis and maybe make a fight of this.
Tower is under attack.
Double damage bottled up by the Pango.
Hokori,
just scouted out.
I haven't got Sven with them. Surprised to see them make this move, but they love to find an isolated hero.
Yeah, Sven was finishing his self-reg, just got delivered. Okay, well, they get their isolation. It's the tanky target, but do they have the damage without Sven? And the answer's no. They don't, and now it's disaster. Oh no, the Sproinks! Yikes. Yeah, without Sven, they just weren't getting that kill.
Yeah. All the heroes to find Brewmaster, probably the worst one of the... Yes.
My waters rise.
They just didn't have the damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I'm going to run down this bottom lane, ignoring the creep wave though, so... Not sure if their plan is to go high ground or what here. It seems like they're just looking to take a fight now that these two supports are dead.
Double damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Active
attack.
on Boom still, so backdoor protection. They
Backdoor
don't
protection,
care.
I guess.
It clearly
Radiant's
works.
bottom tower has fallen.
Yeah, that's got to be intimidation at its finest. If you're Hokori, it's like, wait a second, that's not supposed to happen.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Well, it's happening.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Come in, get
Rex.
grab light Rex and get out. Yeah.
That's fun to deal with. Morphling's level 25 now as well. 2 waveform charges online.
Yeah, this game's getting... It's been tricky for a while, but it just seems to be... Usually you think, okay, we're going to spend 1 or 2 more items in the game, will get easier as he gets more farm, but it just feels like they're running into more and more problems the longer this game goes with how far ahead Gladiators are getting.
Morphling finds a jump on the Hokori and the impetus. Oh, man. Thought that might have actually killed him for a second, but nope, he's alive. Barely. Okay, that's a decent pickup. Weaver gets the Ag Scepter. This is what I was talking about, you know, with the drafting of the possibility of a support Weaver, and that's one of those tools, right? With a time lapse on an allied hero now. He's not using it on dying.
Or he just died too fast, but yeah, I don't think you're using it. He's going to die even if you time-lapse him there.
Yeah. Not worth it there. Sorry, bro.
Radiant's top tower
Just going
is
to primal
under
split for the
attack.
buildings, it looks like. Edge on the low ground, providing some extra artillery support as well.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Gosh.
Radiant's top
Sven
tower
just
is
waiting
under
for
attack.
the cue. Look at Ace, though. He's hunting. Trying to find.
Radiant's
Catches
top
Weaver
tower
once
is
again.
fallen.
Throws him up. Comes back
Radiant's
together.
top barracks
They get the
are under
tower,
attack.
and even with this massive lead, Gaimin Gladiators not going to risk overextension. They play it very safe. The tower fall back. Why would they? Enchantress, by the way. Look at that net worth of Enchantress. 1,000.
Oh, yeah, obviously boosted by getting the free Ags from the Roshan,
Radiant
but
are
still,
scanning.
that's... Even without that, you're looking at like 17,000 or something.
I like
so.
how this one feels.
A lot of gold on this end. Just level 20 with a Grove Bow and all those other amazing damage items, and that's just where this Sven like can't really carry this game. Like, yeah, you could maybe go in, blink in, kill a Pengo, maybe even kill a Morph, like best case scenario. But how do you deal with these other heroes? Like even Silencer, Boots of Bearing, Octarine Core, everybody's just stacked.
Something else worth pointing out as well. I'll get to that in a second because potential fight breaking out. Here we go, the Rolling Thunder, the Lotus Orb on top. They jump Zeus. He pops the BKB at least. So he's not being stunned. He's just trying to run this whole time, but eventually Morphling shows up. The Global Science is out. Undying's dead. The chase continues on the Zeus, and he's dead. So is Sven. During all of that, they were so focused on the Zeus, but I guess Sven was also having troubles with others, including that spranking of good old Enchantress over there and Brewmaster on top. So 4 are currently dead. Time lapse enough to save.
Might just be GG. They're going to get the Megas. They could go for the tier 4s. I'm surprised they don't call it after that fight like that. It honestly is just game over. Gladiators will have to do the deed and kill off these tier 4 towers and throw in a little side.
Finish it the old-fashioned way. Nothing wrong with that. It is defense of the Ancients after all.
Radiant's middle tower.
Kill that Ancient, but yeah, there's pretty much no chance. Although there's a buyback on Sven now, so maybe that's something to say. One last hope right here. Dive in from the Morphling. They got him. Yep, there's the blow up. So that's what they're waiting for. The sneaky buyback and waiting for the fountain dive, I suppose. Global size, still those impetus. It's just not gonna kill Weaver.
How can I?
Still survive. Undying's dead. The one's dead yet.
They're going for kills.
Yeah,
Like,
screw the thing.
This game is more fun getting kills.
Pad those stats, baby. See what you can get. Kill Sven again, and that's what they do. So there we go. It is officially GG, as it's called. The Gaimin Gladiators takes game number 2 to split the series, and guys, that means both teams will finish day 1 with a 3-3 record.
Yeah. You know, pretty good spot to be in. The 3-3 record, at least as far as day 1 goes, it's like, you know,